person, graduate, non-graduate, has a family of 5 people at a minimum, a wife, himself, an assistant, and perhaps 2 kids. That boda person, because it's manual, you need a lot of starch. The cost of 2 kgs of sugar is over, or 1 kg of sugar is 200. The cost of 2 kgs of unga is over 200. Their net earning per day is 300 shillings. When you are doing these things of per day labor-based, you need to actually take 2 kgs of starch including sugar. Na unajua mtoto mdogo ulilia sukari sana, hata kula chochote bila sukari, including me. I used to cry for bread so much because I loved eating bread and I was spoiled when I was a smaller boy. So our boda people are desperate. They, in order to acquire the boda, they got into some Shylocks arrangement with an entity I do not want to refer to here. They are paying rates that are exorbitant. So this is my practical proposal, and this is my first request to you. Get engaged, and I'll send the boda people to you. Get engaged with them. As a county government, we are also a government that solves problems. We will rope us into that discussion so that we can lift that burden off their shoulders. If it is an expensive arrangement, we can buy it. We can also pay for some of the things that burden them, and we are doing so, knowing that part of the burden, the daily burden that they are required to pay for the pikipiki ambazo wanaziendesha is passed on to the consumer here. It becomes the general cost of living. So we are available. You are a bank. We are a government. The people want to be sorted out. If you look at the boda sector here, the boda sector are the worst hit by the prices of petroleum products. I am told a liter of fuel today is over 200 shillings. Au watu wadogo mnawaona hapa will not afford that. They'll try and pass the buck or pass the cost to the customer. So NCBA that has mentioned through TIRAS that they are funding electric motorcycles and vehicles. I think such suggestions will come in handy, but for them, or for that suggestion to see the light of day, we need to make it affordable and available. So your presence here, I believe that is one discussion you should pick on tomorrow or next week. Maybe you'll start getting boda customers.
Actually, initially, we were sure we were going to give the government. We had a very good agenda for the people because we need to empower cooperative society. We need this boda to be in the society so that they can get money from established institution. They buy motorbike in a way that is sustainable, formally. So personally, I belong to Azimio. I'm telling the Kenya Kwanza that the prices are not sustainable. We are not going to achieve as a country because 211 per liter, it means a boda who was charging 50 bob will now charge 100 bob. You know, the net effect, people will start walking. People will not be using boda. People will not be using taxis. At the end of the day, even the most needed revenue will not be collected. I'm a member of the budget committee, and I did this proposal. Those who are watching TVs during those times, I was one of the people who was advocating for how to subsidize. This is the right time now for the government to subsidize these prices for the common mwananchi. Let me be very honest. I'm not an economist, but I attended economic class. You an administrator, so you must understand economics. When you increase prices, is to get more money. When people don't buy, then you don't get the actual money. That's the truth of the matter. So we are not going to meet the target. Because few, even me now, today I've not used V8 because of the fuel. I've used CDF vehicle. I've saved some money. Other people will also save that money. At the end of the day, we are not going to even get money to finance the budget. If we can look for other avenues, one, by creating an enabling environment for business to expand. That way, people will pay tax, they'll buy more, because as we talk now, the purchasing power, people don't have that purchasing power. Because the same salary is there, they are being taxed, so they opt on means of survival.
So we made very bold announcements recently about our commitment to sustainability. We recognize that as a corporate citizen, We have to do business in a sustainable so that we protect our climate, which improves livelihoods and the business environment, which included up to 30 billion shillings in financing towards green projects. So any customer, any person who is thinking, whether it is a school that wants to replace reliance on electricity from the grid into solar, or wants to use gas instead of firewood, we're very open for business. That is where those funds will go to. Anyone with a project that wants to improve the impact or reduce the impact that they're having on the economy, on the climate, that is the sort of commitments we've made. A year and a half ago, we announced 4 billion shillings of financing to electric vehicles. We've seen a lot of even taxis converting from fuel to gas. Now, electric vehicles are becoming something more common. And so we're open for business. We're open to have conversations with anybody who has any idea that they think will have reduced the impact that they have on the economy, and we're open to support those projects.